box and so on. So it means that whatever the site you have created in a SharePoint, that site can be accessed by any user, no matter where he sits. Only a small setting what we have to do, we only have to copy this host file, paste in a desktop or maybe in a C drive, we create one folder, and then within the folder we can go ahead and paste that one. All right, maybe you do not have a permission on your laptop. That's why it's not letting you do.
Yeah, I don't think I do.
Yeah, no worry. But this is how we can give access of my site to someone who is sitting somewhere else in the office. We just have to share this URL and we have to assign permission. Right? So as an employee, I can access this SharePoint site as well. You remember you have also given permission to a user Tom, right? So it means that if I share this URL with Tom, no matter where the Tom is sitting, Tom can also access this URL. So I'm going to launch Google Chrome from my laptop. Now you have a control. Just paste the URL, and this time do not give the username spadmin. Give a username Tom.
What?
Just paste the URL in a browser. I have already copied. Yeah. Yeah. Hit enter. Give the username Tom this side. No, you have to give domain name /Tom. monoq/Tom, and then the password. Yes. So as a Tom, user Tom, you are now able to access this SharePoint site outside the server, because you are not inside the server, you are in my laptop, right? Your server is here, correct? And we have not using this URL within a server. We are basically outside of my server. And look at that, you are able to access that. Now click books and check. So whatever the permission you have given to Tom, that is going to work. So click books, click school. Looks good now. Perfect. And Tom here, they can upload a document. So let upload a document, some document here. Now this time you are uploading a document from my laptop. So maybe you can, yeah, be here only. Just click both the PDF, Angular one, yeah, yeah. Click open. Say okay. Upload one more document. Choose file. Select second one, which is Azure DevOps Analyst CV. But yeah, just fine. Maybe, yeah. Anyone of your choice. Okay. All right. Go back to SharePoint now. Go back to SharePoint server, remote server. Maybe from here. And now, if you check, just refresh it inside a server, we must able to see the website, the two document which the user has uploaded in a books, right? Correct. As a user, I have uploaded this document from my laptop.
Yep.
I have accessed this site from my laptop, and then I upload this document, and look at that within the SharePoint, I'm able to see this document. All right. So let's have a 5-minute break. When we come back, we try understand what we exactly did, what this page and all about.
Okay.
Okay. Break required, Monique, right? All right. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So look at that, what we did so far, how it go and relate to SharePoint. So whatever you did so far is called content management. How you are going to manage the content within SharePoint. And to manage the content, we basically use SharePoint hierarchy. What we have? SharePoint hierarchy. So what the SharePoint hierarchy says that very first you have an application. So what we create? A web application. So what this web application is exactly going to give me? It is going to give me two things. One, a website on IIS. Number two, it is going to give me WSS content database in the SQL. So this particular website, web application is giving me a place where to store the information of this content. And once we have this web application, then within the web application, we can go and create a sites. So what basically we are creating here, a site collection. Every site collection which we create is going to store its real data into the content database and its metadata on the IIS. So here, whatever the picture you upload, whatever the document you upload, where it go and store? In a WSS content DB. So here basically it store the data, and here it is store the metadata. Metadata means which type of file, what is the size of the file, who is going to access that, when this file created. All this metadata information is stored in IIS website, which is created by a web application. So it means that when we talked about content management, we leverage the feature of SharePoint, which called SharePoint hierarchy. SharePoint hierarchy start with a web application. So when we have a web application, it is going to create two things for us. One, a database in a SQL. Second, a website in IIS. And then within the web application, we basically create a site collection. What site collection going to do? Data it is stored in a WSS content DB, while metadata it is stored in a IIS web server. And then within the site collection, we go and create a site. So first, by default, when you create a site collection, you also create a top level site, which we generally called a root site or a parent site. So while creating a site collection, it is mandatory you must have a root site. And then within the root side, we can create subsite, pages, and a list. So we can go and create a different subsite within the root sites. We also create a pages. Later on, we also create lists. So it means that when we work on this hierarchy, it is basically going to give us how the whole control is going to be worked on. So if you look from a very far, 36,000 feet height, this is how it is going to look like. When we try to manage the content of my organization, we first leverage the feature called SharePoint hierarchy. To leverage the feature of SharePoint hierarchy, you need to create a web application. Web application going to create two things. One, a website on an IIS where your site collection going to run, and a database in SQL server. And whenever you create a site collection, basically the data of the sites is going to store in a WSS content DB. And when we have a metadata, it is going to store in a website. Then within the site collection, we create root site. A root site may have a subsite and a pages and a list. And then further, when you drill down, you will find that within the subsite itself, we can create another same thing. Subsite can contains another subsite, another pages, and a list. So subsite can also have another subsite within that. And then within subsite, you may have a pages and a list. So it means that this hierarchy is going to give me a way how we are going to manage a different content. Content which might be belongs to a different department. Content which might belongs to different project. You can create an hierarchy like that, and that whatever you create, whatever the site you're going to create, there you can define a control. Who can access the list? Who can access the pages? Who can access the subsite? And within the subsite, if you have a subsite, again, who can going to access this subsite? You can also track the report, how this particular whole hierarchy is going to work. So can you explain this whole thing again for me, Monikyu, about the hierarchy? So what is the first thing you have to create in SharePoint? A web application, right?
Mm-hmm.
Within web application, it's a site collection. Within site collection, your root site. Within root site, your subsite. Within subsite, you have your pages and a list. So it means that this is a complete flow and architecture, how this SharePoint you are going to configure for your organization. You can go drill down as low as you can, maybe subsite within subsite, and then you have again subsite, and then you can go to the pages and then the list, or maybe in some part Only root site is perfect. I do not might need to work on a subsite. So this everything which you do in SharePoint, basically it's part of a content management. Whatever we are seeing here is nothing, it's a content. The document is a content. All this picture and everything which we have uploaded here is called a content. We have a content everywhere, and this content need to be managed. Maybe this content or this document, whatever we have uploaded, is a pretty secure. It might contains it might contain a different information. Look at that. This is a CV. Someone has uploaded their CV. So if I get the access of this CV, I might know a lot of information. So I want to protect that. Who can access? Who cannot access? What the size of data we are going to do? So it means that when we work on a SharePoint, we have to think from this whole hierarchy perspective. Who can do what? Maybe we can say that this web application is created only by a top level administrator. So only the top level admin is authorized to create the web application, not all other. Maybe this site collection which you created, I authorize you that only Monique can create the site collection, not Mr. Bipin. Maybe I am only authorized to create this subsite. So it is only authorized to me. So this way you can control who can do what. And this way you also control how information are going to organize within SharePoint. So not only to organize, how this information going to be let the user to access this information. What the user should not, what the user should. And even if the user has an access, what he can do? He can only read, he can only write, he can only modify. So this makes this a specific diagram is giving us a very top level visualization that how the SharePoint is going to work. And at any level, you have a control. You have a control at the top level. You can control down level. You can control child level as well. And this is going to give us a whole flow. The content management, which is a prime objective, why people use SharePoint. Objective of using SharePoint is not to create a website. The objective of using a SharePoint to create a site which contain the information about your organization. How this information are going to contain, organized, secure, that is what the responsibility a SharePoint admin has to take care. So far this is what we try understand that how we can go and create a web application, how we can go and create a site collection, how we can go and create a root site, and then within subsite, and within subsite we can create a different pages. And then we can leverage the full feature of this SharePoint. Now let's do one thing. Whatever we have configured so far, this is my top level site. I want now this particular home page, which is coming by Amazon. It should not have this layout. I want to change the existing layout. Yes, molecule. So I want to change existing home page layout. So again, click setting button, say edit page. All right. Now it's give me that this is the option where you are going to manage your home page. You have an option called remove this. Just click remove this. Yeah, hit OK. It's gone. Now you have a text layout. Let's change the layout. Take the last one. So it's going to give me the complete package. Now type here Amazon.com. Make it something glamorous. Increase the font size, change the color. All right. And then what this Amazon.com is going to give me, maybe we can copy and paste the content. So go back and copy and paste the content. Go to Google maybe and just type what the content we have about Amazon. Just click all and say Amazon. Oh, wonderful. So here it said the earth biggest selection of books, electronics, apparel, and more of at low prices. Pretty good introduction. Looks good. Yeah. Maybe we have to again edit the page. Now after Amazon.com, maybe have to press enter and hit that one. Yeah, say allow access. Now in all the section, we are going to put some information now. So for an example, in a section 1, let's put a small video. So let me copy a video for you. Hold on for a moment. I have a small video. So let me go to a desktop. Is it 400? And I say that this looks good for me. Copy this one, or maybe let me paste the SharePoint video. Come back here. I'm going to store this video in a C drive, data. All right, so the video have been posted now. So let's insert a video where we are. Here we are. Yeah. In a first